run by Englishmen. America is governed by Americans. So Africa must be ruled by Africans. I wanna know who owns the land. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. We must rule our purpose land. I say, we want to know who owns the land. I want to know who owns the land. Hey, Papa it must be free. I want to know who owns the land. Mozambique want to know who owns the land. Namibia want to know who owns the land. I say, Soweto want to know who owns the land. Zimbabwe want to know who owns the land. African freedom fighters want to know who owns the land. Purpose land. Now listen to the history. We've been here since creation. We've been here since creation. What else do you know? Since the time of sun and sand. Since the time of moon and stars. Since the time of air and sea. Since the time of men and sea.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we want to know who owns the land. We are not fools on the hill. Africa wants to rule from Cape to Cairo, and of course, Ambazonia, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, wants to rule itself from the Mongol to Nkambe. Good evening. Welcome to ABS Africa's broadcasting service, ladies and gentlemen. And as usual, coming to you from the great state of Texas, Houston, Texas. Thank you for tuning in. I'm of course, your anchorman, Chris Ano. Chris Ano, thanks once more for tuning in. It's always a privilege to come to you with what is happening in Ambazonia and, of course, Africa subsequently. Thank you once more for tuning in. For those who are joining from Europe, thank you. Ukraine, Poland, of course, thank you, where we have quite a number of Ambazonian displays from Ukraine. Thank you for tuning in, and those of you joining also from the United Kingdom. You know, the United Kingdom is not part of the European Union, right? Though it is in Europe. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all of you from the continental USA, including Canada. Thank you for tuning in. Also from Asia, the far and the near east, Mexico, as they call it, Mexico. Thank you. It's a great pleasure coming to your home after a few number of days unable to do so. Please, as usual, I expect you to go ahead, hit your share button. Let us populate the platform. So much has gone under the table, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope to do justice to every bit of them, every bit of it tonight. So go ahead and you hit your share button. Go ahead, hit your share button as I come to you, ladies and gentlemen, with again breaking developments from what we call ground zero, referring to, of course, Ambazonia, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. We heard of shootings today. University students wake up today in Bambui and Bambili with gunshots all over the place. In Bali, of course, we saw the exploits of the Amba Restoration Forces in Bali against French Cameroon terrorist soldiers in that part of Ambazonia. We're going to be talking about that a little bit. We also have a situation developing, ladies and gentlemen, in Oku. We will bring you the latest from Oku, where money is essentially changing hands at the announcement, the rumor that Philemon Yang is becoming the vice president in La République du Cameroon. These are all still allegations. We see this in their newspapers. We cannot confirm that, but that is the allegation making the rounds in the rumor making the rounds in La République du Cameroon newspapers that Philemon Yang will become their first vice president. How far that is true, we don't know. Jeune Afrique, I think a month ago, had Ingo on the front cover calling him Monsieur, is it vice president or vice president? My French is not good, but pardon me with that. So, Jeune Afrique had Ingo, the Secretary General at La République du Cameroon's presidency, reporting him to be their very first vice president. They will also have English papers declaring Philemon Yang to be the chosen one. And because of that, money is making the rounds in Oku, millions of CFA francs. I will come to that also. But very, very important, ladies and gentlemen, is the story that we all wake up to yesterday with the Ambazonian chiefs, a couple of Ambazonian chiefs descending upon Paris. They call it Paris. We call it Paris, but they call it Paris. All right, so a couple of Ambazonian chiefs led by the chief, the Fon of Akum, descending upon Paris for what we have learned to be an expedition to learn how to go back to their fondoms and chiefdoms, to open their museums, create museums in their fondoms. That is the main subject of the day, and I will be getting to it. So ladies and gentlemen, do justice by hitting your share button. Do justice by hitting your share button, and let us quickly populate this platform. Let us quickly populate this platform, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see the numbers literally jumping. I want to see the numbers literally jumping right now. Less than 500. Please, if you have joined, go ahead and hit your share button so that those joining from ground zero do not have to wait for the actual broadcast to begin. So please go ahead and you hit your share button. Let me see those of you who are out there on Facebook who have joined. So when I call your name, make sure you hit that share button very quickly, very quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, let the numbers jump. All right. Let me see what is happening on the social media, Facebook in particular here. The key hour, they can have anything to be their VP, but all we, the right-thinking Ambazonians, don't recognize these chiefs. Okay, AJ Succeed, Bole Toleti, Bertrand Ayuk. Okay, watching from UAE, Dubai, wonderful. Blaze, Tanyi. Please hit your share button. Hit your share button. I see the numbers rising, not to my liking, ladies and gentlemen. Hit your share button. Richard in there. I see you, sir. Christian Kumbo, always here all the time. Destiny, New Country, our one and only anchor man. Welcome. Thank you, sir. Mambo Pena, I see you. Diodone Kiyang, I see you, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing this just so you hit your share button and let's get this platform fully saturated before I come to you with the information. Okay, Ayok Kingsley, I see you. I see you. See also Mbariko Armstrong watching. All right. Mike Nkungafe. All right, I see you, sir. Anye, Secretary Chris, please move to Russia. you will do us a favor with your brilliance. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, sir. AJ succeeds. Secretary Chris, I know Facebook is seriously playing with the views here. I don't know about that. I really don't know about that, but hit your share button. Thank you. Tafo, we are watching at them. I guess he's referring to the Chiefs. And Mba Patricio, greetings from Mexico. Thank you, ma'am. I knew you were all there. I see John Wood. This is not John Dinga. This is John Wood. It says share. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please hit your share button. I can't come to you until I see at least 500, close to that right now. I see Agwo Turube, Ayuk Enes. Hello, Secretary Chris. You look good as usual. Your voice is iconic. Wonderful. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. Augustine Musa. Yes, Secretary Chris, we are online. Malam Musa from Angola. Wonderful. Thank you, Malam. Wonderful. Hit the share button as you join, please. Hit the share button as you join. Let us get these numbers up. All right. Zilios says the voice. Eric Guan, what does he say? Greetings from South Africa. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Robinson Ekene, resistance continue until freedom comes. Absolutely, sir. No other option. Okay. I see also Real Amber, Anchorman. Where is Barrister Fru? Ha 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 ha. You're right. I don't know where Barrister Fru is, ladies and gentlemen. The man, I don't know. He had a lot of falsehood in his belly. I'm going to be talking about that on a different day. But hit your share button. Hit your share button. Oh, all right. John Wood. See, Chris, we love you, sir. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. And who is here? NK Linus. Match fire, Secretary Chris. I will match fire the moment you match fire, hitting your share button. And I have lots and lots of fire to match here, ladies and gentlemen. Fine Desmond. Oh, our anchor man is live. Thank you. Angel of Amazonia. Thank you. I see better man. We love you, Chris. That's all he says. Kenneth Leke. Secretary Chris, you and Presi Iya Marianta need to go lobby Russia to intervene in our struggle. I don't know about that. I don't want to see those corpses I see in Ukraine lying anywhere on the streets of Amazonia. All right. John Wood, you are doing a great job, sir. God bless you. Thank you, sir. Vivian Abidu, we own the land, she says. Yes, ma'am. Mume Darga, Secretary Chris, we've been waiting for the new government of Madam President. Well, you know, I am Mr. Chris, not Mr. President, right? Thank you. Stateless citizen, greetings to Charlie Dinga. I am not Charlie Dinga, you know that, and I will never be Charlie nor John Dinga, and not from Togo. I'm from Amazonia. All right. I see Venom ad. Where is John Dinga? Okay, I don't know. Power must change hands, says John Dinga Ikomecha Asako is watching with a fake profile. That is very possible, and I believe you. Nico Mariba, we own our land. Wonderful, wonderful. I see also here, ladies and gentlemen, please keep on hitting the share button. Keep on hitting your share button. That's the only reason that I do these little greetings here, to help you hit your share button. So go ahead and do that. I am Manio. I used to have a classmate in those days called I am Pius. Are you anywhere related? That was in the 80s, very early, I think 1983. All right. Thank you. Ojong Akabum Michelle, watching from Cyprus, Secretary Chris. Good evening. Good evening, sir. And I see Inji Ako Peter. Thank you for joining. Achuobua Damien. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see also Christian Kumbo. I mentioned you. Sako Chief Man. I mean, these are all Facebook names, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not making them up. I'm here with John Dinga. Wow. All right, Chinwe Fokopsen, watching, he says. Embat Freedom, I see you. Bekwike Magnus, this must be a Libya name. Bekwike, all right, I hope so. On to you, Boya, we are together in the journey, sir. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I can't call every name here, but if I miss your name, if I can't call your name, just know the names. Just so many. You have close to, you have over 500 people here, and there is no way I can read every name. Just impossible. Martin Neba, you are great, Ambazonia Secretary. Thank you, sir. Good evening, Secretary Creator in South Festus. From Ground Zero, wonderful. Thank you, sir. Asong Fonken. Secretary Chris, those chiefs shouldn't return to Amberland. They will be on exile. He said they will be, those chiefs shouldn't return to Amberland. They will remain. They will be on exile. Okay. All right. Ingo Tenya, Secretary Chris, we are watching you. Ladies and gentlemen, I see those numbers are instant dropping. Hit your share button if you have just joined. Hit your share button. Gary Howe says, where is Uncle Bo, Uncle Man? Uncle Bo was actually supposed to be with me today, but I didn't hear from him. All right. I will get him back one of these days. Don't be worried. Okay. Fungo. Jana Fungo. Very regular on this platform. She is like watching here every minute to see when I am on. Thank you for joining. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I leave it there, and I want to once more welcome all of you and thank you for tuning in from across the globe. I am your anchor man, Chris Anu, and I like to start with something a little bit funny, ladies and gentlemen. You all are aware of the interview that I had last week with Lady Victorine Aqua. Lady Victorine Aqua, the person whose face you find on your screen. Lady Victorine Aqua. Ladies and gentlemen, Lady Victorine Aqua, as you all know, you will recall the confessions that she made pertaining to the person you all now call today John Dinga or Charles from Togo. Now, it's been about a week now. I have learned that right after that interview, ladies and gentlemen, calls, threats started flowing in. To Lady Victorine Aqua. In fact, what the enemies did, John Dinga and the surrogates did, was threatening. They went to her with two offers. In fact, I think there were actually three. Now, you've listened to the audios out there coming from one lady who calls herself Mama G. You also heard audios, I think, coming from Irene Ngwa. All of them attacking this lady who sat in her house and was minding her own business until John Dinga showed up, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Irene Ngwa, the so-called Mama G, whose images I have here, but it's not your time to put them out there. They all went on the attack. But worst of all, Eric Ate, as you can find the name, all of you know Eric Ate, the guy who is our pseudo presenting himself as the vice president of Ambazonia. He actually called, Eric Ate actually called Lady Victorine Aqua, ladies and gentlemen, asking her. Eric actually called with one other person, another surrogate, and they both called Lady Victorine, and they asked Lady Victorine to retract her confession, her testimony. Not just retract it, they wanted her to change the story to the effect that the person she met in 2010, whom she refers to as Sako Ekome Samuel, with the names of Charles from Togo and John Dinga from Cameroon, was actually a different person. That is the message they wanted her to take out. They wanted her to go out and say, I told Secretary Chris the wrong message. It wasn't Samuel Ekome Sako they wanted her to say. It was somebody else. And they wanted her to go out and share this narrative. Now they added that they were going to bring ABC to her house, not ABS, ABC to her house, so they can record her, change her story to the effect that the person she was mistaken was somebody else. It wasn't a commerce. Can you imagine that? To what extent these guys, I mean, this, when we call these people a cabal, I guess you all understand where we are coming from. They called her, pressurized her, told her the person she was referring to as Samuel Sako isn't Samuel Sako. It is somebody else. And they said, and they wanted her to, ladies and gentlemen, accept they come into her home with cameras to record her, change the story. But she stood her grounds. She stood her grounds and said, okay, if you want me to change my story, she said, bring me John Dinga and Charles. If you bring me John Dinga and Charles, and I realize that I made a mistake, I will change the story. And so she refused to change the story. In fact, I also learned, I think they were trying to offer her money to see she could change the story, go out, retract the story to the effect that, no, John Dinga wasn't a Komesako, John Dinga was somebody else. Again, that is how far these people will go to get their way. Ambazonians, we have been dealing for 4 years. We have been dealing for 4 years with crooks. And when the lady would not change her story, we refused to listen to them. You heard them in their audios out there. That is Chris Anu's girlfriend. Chris Anu paid her to do the story. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I have been doing this for the 5 years, going to the 6 years of this struggle. And you guys know, I don't pay for views. I don't pay for anybody to come on this show. Many people want to come on this show. You all know that. Many people, they want to come on this show, and I will never pay or give anybody a dime, not for any reason, to come on this show. People call to come here. But the fact is that as far as this lady is concerned, her mother reached me all the way, ladies and gentlemen, from ground zero, from Kumba, all the way from Kumba, called me all the way from Kumba and said, all of you had a scammer for a president. And I said, why? She said, she fooled my daughter. She wanted to marry my daughter. And I said, who is your daughter? She said, the daughter is in Minnesota. And can I speak to her? She sent me the number, and I spoke with her. We don't fix stuff here like the preaching in the church in in Brazil, ladies and gentlemen. We do not do that. But again, I am bringing this to you so that you understand the kind of con artists we are dealing with out there, the con artists we have been dealing with for the past 4 years in counting in this struggle. I saw a post in the social media by Samuel Ekome Sako announcing he just sent 2 million to Libialem. He's going to send another 2.5 million to Indian and to Ngo Ketunja, and I just nodded my head and said, what frustration this can be. For 4 years that I have known Sako, he has been in charge. They sent money to Ground Zero, ladies and gentlemen. It was not a dime was ever announced. Not a dime was ever announced. Again, we send millions. When I say we, I mean the government sent millions to our fighters on Ground Zero, and never for once was an announcement made. Now, because the countries and the regional coordinators put together a trophy for the fighters on Ground Zero, and the first one went to the expendable 100 of Indian, Sako rushes out and put out an announcement. I just sent 2 million to the BLM. I'm sending another 2.5 out of Lava Storm 3 to Indian. What happened? Why didn't you announce where money for Lava Storm 1 went to? Why couldn't you announce where money for Lava Storm 2 went to? And by the way, how much was Lava Storm 3? Why are you still waiting? And what are you waiting for to send 2.5 million to India when you made Ambazonians to understand Lava Storm 3 raised $58,000? Where is the money? Where is the money? Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. I have said it here again and again and again that we must cut the head of the snake, as the snake will perspirize and try by all means to live again. If you are out there and you think that with those postures they are putting out there talking about 2 million to Ambazonia, 2.5 to Ambazonia, you should support them. You make a big mistake. Your dime should not enter their hands, because that is how they usurp themselves in power with what you give to them. Lady Marianta, our president, is working really, really hard, and one of these days cabinet will be announced. The new cabinet will be announced. Men and women that she has picked for cabinet will go to work. I know that many of you out there, especially on Ground Zero, are saying, what is going on? What is going on? What is taking too long? Where is the new president? Ladies and gentlemen, please, we should never forget, this is a struggle, not a revolution. Again, this is a struggle and not a revolution. A revolution is done in an expedited manner. But for a struggle, you never predict, ladies and gentlemen, how long it goes and what happens tomorrow. You cannot. And so when you have a new leader coming into a new position with nothing, remember that Sako, they tried to confiscate the treasury, of course. We have taken most of it from them. I want you people to know this. We have taken most of it from them. We've taken the website from them. We've taken CID from them. This is work that is being done in the background. We will take ABC from them because we hear your cry. We hear from you. We will take your ABC from them. But one thing, ladies and gentlemen, one thing that you can do right now and tell everyone else to do to stop them running that television box ABC is withhold every dime. Withhold every dime that you can from them. Because if you give them the money, they will pay ABC and run ABC. And I've heard the stories from Ground Zero. Many people from Ground Zero saying, Secretary Chris, why are you still allowing them to have ABC? They are using ABC to indoctrinate and to deceive and to confuse people on the ground. That is true. But listen, we can stop them. We can stop them. If we cannot lay hands on ABC tomorrow, we can stop them by, ladies and gentlemen, withholding every dime from them. Do not give them a dime for anything when they are usurping themselves as Ambazonian leadership. That is how you stop them. But also, for you on Ground Zero, do not forget, SCBC was once like ABC, isn't it? When we started this struggle, SCBC was a real deal, right? All of you on Ground Zero were gathering around SCBC to see what was going on in the struggle. How many of you are still doing that? Of course, very, very few. Now, ABC came up and you all flung to it even much more than SCBC. But now, Sako has confiscated it. Ladies and gentlemen, I bet you it will go the way of SCBC, because in the diaspora, I see 23 people or 24 people watching it. I see 78 people watching it when Padita is on. I see when Sako comes on, the only way they pretend that people are watching it is by robots. When Martin Mungwa is on, he buys few robots, 300 robots to watch him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Everything they do is mind games. Mind games. Try to play over your intelligence to make believe that, oh, lots of people are still following them. Lots of people are still watching them. That is not true. I saw something that was passed around the social media the other day. And when I am live here, they may be live on ABC too. I am live with about 700 or 700 and something people. They go buy robots to show that 700 people too are watching them. Now, by the time I am done from the broadcast, you have close to 10,000 people who have watched, or within the hours. Now, those who have watched them after the same amount of time, not up to 2,000, not up to 2,000. That is how you know robots are they bought robots to watch them. You know why? Because robots do not come back to watch. That is why they say 700 are watching them. But at the end of the day, you look at the reviews, not up to 2,000, because robots are not coming back to watch. Only real people go back to watch. I hope they figure out how to get robots to go back watching after the show. But by the way, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hitting the share button. But again, I was bringing you this information about Victorine, updating you to know what has been going on, the war that has been going on in the background, running after Victorine Aqua to change this story. But she said to them, she is really smart. She is really smart. In fact, she told them they have not heard anything yet. That was only part one. That was only part one. She told them, you want me to change my story? Bring me John Dinga, show me John Dinga, and I will change the story. Of course, they left. I can't believe that Eric Ate stooped so low to even try this, ladies and gentlemen. And when that story failed, you heard Irene, you heard so-called Mama G attack this woman in a very vicious way, ladies and gentlemen. Another woman like her. I don't want to go down that route, but let me assure all of you out there again, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know her. I don't pay anybody to come on a show. Never, ever. So, in what I bring you here, I bring you facts here. I have been doing this again for over 5 years since this struggle began. And I think I have built a resume of integrity. If I bring you a story that is false, I would definitely come back and apologize and withdraw it. But if it is not, never, ever, and I cannot count how many times I've actually come back to withdraw a story. I think only in about 2 occasions of 5 years. So ladies and gentlemen, when they try to play their mind games, with you out there, please know that whatever you take from here, you receive from here, you listen to from here, is always based on facts, investigated. All right, let's get to the next chapter here, ladies and gentlemen. You have all seen the images emerging from Bali. Something happened in Bali, ladies and gentlemen. Last week, the buffaloes of Bali had planted an amber sign in their community. And as stupid as La République du Cameroon's soldiers are, they went out trying to take down the sign. And what happened, I believe many of you have seen it. I thought there were those images here for projection. Let me see if those images are here. All right. So what happened next is what you find on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. That is what happened in Bali. Oh, the technicians still have the wrong title there on the screen there. Let's see. So ladies and gentlemen, that's what happened in Bali. Last week. Again, the restoration forces, the buffaloes, of course, had gone out, planted an amber sign proclaiming Bali for Ambazonia. They planted the sign and left, and over the night, La République du Cameroon elements, the scouts that you see there, seated there, would come to try to put down the sign. They came like thieves in the night to put down the sign, ladies and gentlemen. But what you see there, they were really fortunate. I mean, God was with them. God was really with them, and none died. But the way they are sitting there, you can tell that they don't look like they are alive. They actually look like prisoners. They actually look like prisoners. So that is what happened in Bali. That is what happened in Bali. I am joined by Comrade Babila, who is the commander for Bali, to tell us what went on there. Hello, sir.
Hi, Comrade Chris. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. You are looking at the images of La République du Cameroon Boy Scouts who were blown up, by the buffaloes in Bali. Tell us exactly what happened, sir.
Yeah, it is very easy, and now we just start. I can say it's just the beginning. This month is a new beginning, because we will chase them out, and what does happen is it's just a little bit of it. It's just like 5% to what will happen, because there is no way that La République du Cameroon would control Ambazonia. They have to pack their things and leave. What was happening was just, I think it was just TV popcorn that caused that damage. That was just TV of the popcorn, and we still have hundreds of them for the tourists. So the earlier they pack their things and go, the better. And as you see the signboard that is there, that is to show you that we control our land and we control our...
Now tell me, I am inquisitive to know whether they actually took down the signboard before this happened.
No, they did not took down. Where you see that thing, the incident where that signboard was at 4:45 in the morning when they came there, and the popcorn that was there was a serious gun battle there. Then this other one was when they succeeded to clear the road, because for them was that they want to clear the road. And when they went to the second target, that was where they carried the real shock. They carried like I think it was 3 different attacks that same day in Bali, different position. The last one you are seeing is the one at Game War.
Okay, yeah, I don't have that one here, but yes, go on.
Yeah, so that was the one at Gungong. So, but the other one took place at in the night, so there was no way for video anything. But the enemy always suffer a lot. They suffer a lot of casualties because the buffalo do not miss. They don't miss their target. They are always on the target.
Wonderful, wonderful. We are really excited to hear that. I really pray that the buffaloes continue in this spirit and keep Bali and Mezam as a whole really, really hot. Really, really hot.
We are not gonna keep it hot, Chris. We are taking what belongs to us. We control the territory. It is our land. So they don't have anything to go. And that is why we have said we don't want to see anything like the Republic of Cameroon in that part of the territory. Mayor in Batibo, if you are a mayor in Winnicum, you are a mayor from that Naka bridge to the border with up to the border with Ground 1 with Nika. We don't want to see anything like Republic of Cameroon. If you are a mayor anywhere there or you anywhere there, your days are numbered. All right. And you go. And that is why we are begging the driver to respect the laws of the land now. The laws of the land will always change at any time. Now we are Ambazonia. That zone is a free zone. There is no number plate. There is no number plate. Drive and you will pass free. If anything that is the Republic of Cameroon, then we will consider you to be a tourist.
All right, comrade. Thank you for the update. So you guys keep up the good job.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Comrade Babila Tita, the commander for Bali Buffaloes, doing an excellent job in that LGA. We really hope that others in other counties, other LGAs in Ambazonia will emulate what the Buffaloes are doing, what the Expendables 100 they are doing in the Indian and Gate Ambazonia Hub. You guys should not forget, something is going on. La République du Cameroon is sending emissaries all over the place, wanting the world to believe that finally, they, ladies and gentlemen, have brought back peace. They have brought back peace. But what we see happening in Bali, in Ngo-Ketunjia, where the restoration fighters have declared a tit for tat, in Ngo-Ketunjia, ladies and gentlemen, will defeat the message that La République du Cameroun is trying to send all over the world, that the war is over, they won the war, and they are going back to normality. I'd like you to take a look at this footage coming from Ngo-Ketunjia, and please listen to the message. Listen to the message.
Yes, this one's one. This is now enable like this. Now people don't deserve a war with the enemy. They don't deserve a war with the enemy for say their own brother and for person who come. So me all enable that say any way you will leave your family. you go for go use military for can keep your umbrella, and I think it will happen for your property. Yes. Now so they any picking any person where na company where the work is all military. Now so all na company go down until the day with that Bakari go stop for the bond house and stop for the bond properties. How we go to bond house and also go to bond any military man that compound. How from today any time we go to key any civilian. Now also we'll move up and locate them. Any French citizen for instance Ambazonia if stand up, we'll shoot and kill them. Now we talk this today. The 2nd of June 2022. When I share the video, 2nd April 2022. When I share the video, me all them see they go to burn our house and also go to burn their on them. And from this 2nd of April 2022, any Ambazonia citizen where they will shoot and kill them, any French citizen inside Ambazonia will finish with them all. But down you never see them. Me see them fine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again,
Yes.
you are watching
This
that
one's one.
from
enable like this now put them, they don't deserve a war with the enemy. They don't deserve a war with the enemy for say their own brother and for person who come for come. So me all enable that say any way you will leave your family, you go for go use military for can keep your own brother, and I think it will happen for your property. Yes. Now so they any picking any person where na company where the work is all military. Now so all na company go down until the day with that Bakari go stop for the bond house and stop for the bond properties. How we go to bond house and also go to bond any military man that compound. How from today any time we go to key any civilian. Now also we'll move up and locate them. Any French citizen for instance Ambazonia if stand up, we'll shoot and kill them. Now we talk this today. The 2nd of June 2022. When I share the video, 2nd April 2022. When I share the video, me all them see them. They go to burn our house and also go to burn their on them. And from this 2nd of April 2022, any Ambazonia citizen where they will shoot and kill them, any French citizen inside Ambazonia will finish with them all.
All right, again, that is the voice of one of our commanders, ladies and gentlemen, in Ngo Ketunjia. I think it says that is Babongo. A lot is going on in that community, where a French Cameroon gendarme, I think they call him commander, they call him, is it Commander Bakari? This guy was transferred from Bambui to Ngo Ketunjia Indop, precisely. And this guy has been taking blacklegs into people's homes. They meet you, you are arrested, and sometimes you are shot and killed, or you are put in jail, or you pay heavy ransoms before they let you go with torture. Lots and lots of restoration forces and Ngo Ketunjia have fallen victims, and their families falling victims too to the barbarism being orchestrated by this one Commander Bakari, a French Cameroon terrorist gendarme officer in Indop. And so what they end up, restoration forces have decided, as you find on the screen, they have decided it will be tit for tat going forward. All the blacklegs, all the traitors, all the infiltrators of La République du Cameroun in the town of Indop and anywhere in Ngo Ketunjia, leading La République du Cameroun terrorist soldiers to people's homes to be destroyed and people to be killed and people to be arrested and ransom paid to these terrorist soldiers of La République du Cameroun. They will face you. The Restoration Council, the Restoration Fighters will come to your own home and do exactly what you find there on the screen. And I just hope that every restoration fighter across Ambazonia copy this. I am totally in support, ladies and gentlemen, of what you see on your screen. Because people, young men and women, cannot get into the bushes, fighting, putting their own lives on the line to liberate you, and you are busy taking the enemy to their doorsteps, to their homes, to go and destroy, burn it, kill their families. I support, we totally support the decision by the Ngo Ketunjia AROF, ladies and gentlemen, to go after every enabler in that community. go after them. Let it be tit for tat. If they come after you, you go after them first. It is called self-defense. If anything you can do to hinder them, to retard them from attacking you, from coming after you, do it. The only thing we say to you is, do not go after innocent people. Do not go after innocent civilians. Go after the enemy and the blacklegs and the traitors within that community. And this interim government will totally stand, ladies and gentlemen, stand behind you. That is what is happening in Ngo-Ketunjia, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just say this before I change subject. I listened to an audio coming from some misguided fighters in Ngo-Ketunjia saying that, oh, Secretary Chris does not support Sargon being made field marshal. I did not say I do not support Sargon. Sargon is a great fighter. We know what he can do. We know what he has done. I said, the title came from the wrong quarters, and I stand by it. Sargon is not in any position to confer titles upon any fighters on the ground. None. He was impeached. I hope you guys realize this. He was impeached just as Sisiko was impeached. And so he is in no position, no authority lies within him to confer titles upon any fighters on the ground. That was the message. And I hope General Sargon gets the message. We stand with you guys because we know, we understand your sacrifices out there. People don't want an impeached, removed leader addressing you in borrowed robes. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I now take you to Oku, where something is really happening in Oku, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like you to take a look at some of the footages that are emerging from Oku. Look at the footages emerging from Oku. Where are they now? All right, look at that.
Now we just about today. Our boys on this, or we be at Talat. No, she say no be. Don't tell them say. Anything they need them, make them see them. Anything they want them, make them see them. So don't tell them say, you do not try that nonsense. Yes. I'm going to go here and go carry this. So we'll be at Talat. Confirm. Commando, Hasha.
Thank you, Papa.
Let's see the good work I do.
Naso General Naso.
Thank you. Yes. The boys in this. Inside about today, then Thursday should check no day. But I know to try again today. We'll see whether who be who. They say they don't want to see Amber. And then this in their number. So they go about today.
I need ball. I'm waiting for you like that. Kini long for you, man. Choco. As you get to maturity, Jordan, yeah, true. You didn't know there's a lot of no man children on for you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, the images that you find on the screen, those are this happened today, I believe. Yes, this was today, ladies and gentlemen, and you will all recall that a few weeks ago, women in the Oku took to the streets, demonstrating, protesting against Ambazonia restoration forces, trying to get them out of town. In fact, they tried to kill some of them, their commander in particular. Now, the women were protesting or marching, as you find there. Again, that was today. But the last time, and even today, as you see them on the street, they were protesting alongside, disguised French Cameroon terrorist soldiers. As you see in those images, there are French Cameroon soldiers among them, carrying pistols, going after Ambazonia restoration forces in Oku. This is what we have learned. We learned that the rumor making the rounds, ladies and gentlemen, that Philemon Yang will be appointed first vice president of La République du Cameroon is coming along with lots of excitement in the area. And yesterday, Fai Yengo Francis, who works collaboratively with Philemon Yang, called the different chiefs from different quarters in Oku, gave out 3 million francs to each of the quarter heads, each of the chiefs, to take out, ladies and gentlemen, go out, spread it, divide it among these residents, especially the ladies that you see here, to urge them to go out and protest against Ambazonia restoration forces. So today, the women came out in their numbers. These guys among them were again French Cameroon soldiers are going after Ambazonia restoration forces. So far, Ambazonia restoration forces have not reacted. They declared a total shutdown of Oku last week, which went very well until they ended it at the weekend. Looking at what we see on the screen and knowing what we know, that what you see on the screen, these are not just women protesting. Ladies and gentlemen, there is 3 million francs behind what you see, and that money is coming from Philemon Yang and Fai Yengo Francis. Now, this is what I need to say to the people, the women in Oku, all of Oku. You take your money, it is okay to take your money. After all, it is the people's money. They defrauded you of that money. If they bring back to you, take it, eat the money. But this is what you should not do. You should not risk your life. You should not risk your life and allow French Cameroon terrorist soldiers to then disguise within you to go after Ambazonia restoration forces. We have ordered Ambazonia restoration forces to shoot to kill anybody coming after them. Again, we have ordered Ambazonia restoration forces in Oku to shoot to kill anybody coming after them. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what is happening in Oku. We will not allow that to happen. The restoration forces have a lot of restrain themselves, ladies and gentlemen. And so, but we have instructed, they asked us what to do. There are French Cameroon soldiers in this crowd that you find here. You women, you risk your life. Allow French Cameroon soldiers to join you in this march. You will be shot. You will be shot to death. You will be shot to death. There will be no pity that you are, oh, these are women carrying palm fronds. You want peace? Tell Fai Yango Francis and Philemon Yang to tell Paul Biya to call for a truce between La République du Cameroon and Ambazonia. That's the peace we all want. Tell them, don't be pursuing your own kids who are fighting for your freedom. I have one of our own joining me with the updates of what is happening in the Oku, ladies and gentlemen. Hello.
Hi, Secretary Chris. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. You're looking at the images on the screen. I understand this took place today, isn't it?
Yes, it took place today, early in the morning.
Early in the morning. Now, I also understand there was a meeting yesterday in Oku where some 3 million francs was dished out to all the chiefs. Tell us what you know about it, please.
I heard the fund called title people and quarter heads to his palace, and then they gave envelopes 3 million each. And then not all the quarter heads took the money, but some of them took the money.
So some of the quarter heads took the money and some did not take the money?
Yes, that's what we heard.
Those who took the money, they have confirmed that the money was 3 million?
Yes, that was 3 million. That's what our informant told us.
And what were they expected to do with the 3 million?
To send the civilians to go out and march.
So the civilians that we see on the street, they are paid to go out and carry out these protests?
Yes.
Any idea what the civilians get, what some of them get?
I talk for Pigeon, Secretary Chris. This thing, so some of those civilians, they don't even know what to go on. So they give the money now for title people them and quarter heads for the one where they take up. So some of the civilians, they just be excited. If you feel watching for your screen, they be excited, they just go out. So the civilians, they come out, they quarter them, they come out for some quarter them where they call and free, Elak, Manchok, Kion. They go down, go meet all the one they from BAM. Then the one they from Green K2, they come out too, then with a Jikojem. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quarter then come on now 7 because they and 3 Elak, Manchok and Kion they come on go down right for BAM, and they be go quiet until they reach from BAM. Some of our fighter their instruments and they be burned down. One fighter them right now they don't know what to do. So now why that they say ma ask the question for Ambazonians and me them do how they be feel say now their own brothers and sisters, their papa and their mommy them. But now La République military they inside them. They don't come on at the camp, and if they know if they attack them, me them do waiting. Now the question where they say ma ask una.
Let me say this. Let me say this thing where I don't first talk. If those women they march after the restoration forces with La République army within them, Ambazonia forces should shoot to kill. I hope they can listen to me, because you call it self-defense. Those women, if they are marching with French Cameroon soldiers within themselves, they are not better than the people who call black legs. They are black legs. And if they come with French Cameroon soldiers, Ambazonia forces should shoot to kill. And I hope those women, they listen to the sound of my voice. You want to go out and risk your life for a little chunk of change dropped from the table given to you by Fai Yango Francis and Philemon Yang, you will die alone. Those Ambazonia fighters, we stand with them for as long as they are not going after innocent civilians. But if the civilians are coming after them with French Cameroon army disguise within them, they should shoot to kill.
Yeah, and then again, I want to say, Secretary Chris, inside that crowd, man, then they like woman, then it don't be mixed. Now the other week we be only woman, then. But right now, you get man, them, you get woman, them. Where they march. And then again, this same today, they arrest civilian them from some quarter where they call and Green K2. They arrest them, go them.
Who arrest who? La Republic soldiers?
Yes, La Republic soldiers. They arrest what people them for the quarter they call and green plate too. Go lock them, they carry them inside truck. So the same people they where the fool na come on match. Now the same people they where they catch you na brother they go lock them. So I know they understand whether the people them for Oko they understand what way they go on. Quarterhead they don't take their money put them for their pocket them. And then with title people they don't take and put them for their pocket. They the fool na they come out. If they shoot some person, na they already go.
Now, we understand, say, there is this information where they go around for Oko, say they want to appoint Philemon Yang, the Vice President of La République du Cameroon, and the reason why they send this woman to go after the boys is to see that there is peace is maintained in Oko, so that La République will not say that, oh, Philemon Yang cannot take care of his area, right?
Yes, nothing that way. Yes, nothing that way. They want to.
Philemon Yang, where it stay for Oku or for outside?
It is outside. They didn't Yaoundé. They just send their envelopes and their people they can't do it. Then again, I want to say the people them for a ball for that when you first see the first video where we put them where the fighter and we did it that one be take place now around Thursday of last week.
Correct. That other event took place last week.
Friday.
Yes, you are referring to this video here. Now, what were the? Now, these are warriors, right? Or what is the name?
No, they are our restoration fighters. The first one where they be commodity, they show other fighter them. Now our restoration forces, then we enter for that triangle equator they call it Ibar, and that same people then with that woman they be fair come off for the same people they don't vow say go stand they no respect them. But where they be respect the ghost town for all sides for inside Oko. But we can have some it really be agreed on the fight pattern that some information will already be passed on. So some places they be there open, so it will be okay. But right now they want to say total lockdown. It's a total lockdown good day. And then again some I don't know whether now fund be sending people they on a way to the march go for some quarter they call Ichem. They go for the people then to the wrong vow say they no go respect goes down. So I want me pass message on to these people then say restoration forces then they arrange and any person like right now they inside their midst military they La Republic military they inside them. So if they send una for phone una they come then to go need for do something because if they kill them the restoration fighters they don't go too.
Well, yesterday was Monday. Ghost Town be respected for Oku?
Yes, they always respect Ghost Town, yeah.
So when when they be announced, say going forward, they know will respect Ghost Town?
Some you know, like this they call an activity again. Like this town crier, the way they come up, blow horn, they go for that water. When there's information, the way they don't come over than for the palace information or whatever, the people then talk to them, nobody respect and not just rumors, so they talk and but would still observe or see whether from tomorrow they would continue for respect or not. And then again, Secretary Chris, I want to pass on message too. Inside all the thing then too, some people then they come out some I don't know whether now forces then where they don't detach from we or not some strong head one them too they get some bad behavior them and with the restoration fighters and they work hard right now to bring them to order they will be sanctioned because civilians and too someone they get right like from way to way be happen with Bush Rambo where the villagers they come out they talk say they want sanction ye now because of small this thing then so when I fight I become out then at the same thing with other fighter then they do and for different side then they come out the whole people them kidnap or they take back them and this so right now so all the restoration fighter
All right. Now, how are the restoration fighters in Oku doing? Are they safe?
They are safe. They are safe. They are just kind of strategizing. Since morning they've been active, and then they were even someone they be there they go attack them. So right now they strategize. So I know if you talk for airway to where they plan for do.
All right. I hope they take the message out to the population of Oku that ghost towns will remain respected, not just in Oku, but in all of Ambazonia. If we take every town, every village, and every city, and every quarter in Ambazonia, and Oku is left out, Ambazonia is not free. And so we hope that the people in Oku will cooperate with the restoration fighters whom I saw in that footage of last week trying to appease the residents of Oku. The Ambazonia restoration fighters, ladies and gentlemen, they are not there to hurt anybody. We know there are some miscreants amongst them. There are some rook ones among them, those who arrest, pick up people, take ransoms. We really do not recognize them as restoration fighters. But the good ones who are sacrificing their lives, doing a good job, they will enforce ghost town in every village, town, and city in Ambazonia. And the people of Oku, please cooperate with these boys. They should not force you to cooperate. You should cooperate with them. The few military officers in your town cannot protect all of you. What is the population of Oku?
I don't have that statistics.
But there are probably not less than 200,000, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the population of Oku is probably around 200,000 and above. And French Cameroon had just probably about 100, or let's say maximum of 300 soldiers in all of that LGA. How can 300 soldiers who do not know where their enemy is coming from protect 300,000 people? 300,000 people in that locality. Yes?
I want to talk some another thing, Secretary Chris. Philemon Young and he house, he compound for Oku. Na there way some way La Republic come they get their camp for a compound. Na YCSF give their camp. Na YCSF give a compound. So na La Republic come.
Right.
So na information that way they don't did it for a while now.
The restoration forces are aware of it.
Yes, they know that one very well, and there be plenty for them. Now they are Martins and their main camp that for Philemon Young compound.
Philemon's Young compound. Okay, all right. Yes. Thank you. Let the restoration fighters know that the entire weight of the interim government stands behind them. They should do everything to protect their lives, and should anybody come after them, La Republic du Cameroon military or not, anybody going after them, they should shoot to kill. This is war. They have to protect themselves before they protect any other person else. All right, I hope you get the message to them.
Yes, I'll get a message, Secretary Chris, and then for that video we be first showing fighter then they for this. So before then they don't go gather civilian then for that bar for that area where that woman they become off for 5 years go equator. They try for explain for them. They try for educate them. May they know so they be here for them. They not be after they not be after civilians and for kill them or anything that they didn't have to protect them. Yes, that very video they be don't first sensitize them so they still talk for them. So now the information done, and then again continuous lockdown could they for Oku lockdown.
We endorse the lockdown thank you for the call.
Thank you, Secretary Chris.
All right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, again, the full weight of this interim government stands with the Ambazonia Restoration Forces up in Oku. And we pass this message to all the bike riders, Okada riders in Kumbo. Message has come to us that Monday ghost towns are being violated by these Okada riders in Kumbo town. Please, please, you love your life, you love your business, save yourself that Monday by staying away. If your Okada is taken and burnt down, do not say, oh, you did not know, or the restoration forces are wicked. You have been warned. You have been warned. Monday remain ghost town, locked down, not just in Kumbo, but in all of Ambazonia. But again, this warning goes particularly to all the bike riders, Okada riders in the town of Kumbo. Stay away from the roads on Monday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll take you to the main story of the day. The main story of the day, talking about the visit to France of a couple of chiefs, or to call them Fons, from Ambazonia. We've seen images of the Fon of Akum leading a delegation to Paris, and we've heard so many interpretations of what that visit is all about. First of all, let me warn you, there is one guy out there that I like to call headmaster of Ngi. Not that I am trying to look down on headmasters. No, I'm just talking because that guy looked like, you know, remember in those days when you see some headmasters, they're always walking with a cane, always walking with a cane. This young guy I call the headmaster from Ngi, or of Ngi, he doesn't walk with a cane, but his mouth is more dangerous than a cane. And it is not dangerous because it speaks truth. It is dangerous because lies are what come out from there, ladies and gentlemen. I am talking about the guy they call Ochiba or UN. Now, many of you read a certain post that you put out there in the social media saying that these chiefs who have gone out to Paris, they are going there to sign a certain contract that will in the near future serve as a treaty of union between La République du Cameroon and Ambazonia. How stupid and foolish. When I call this guy an illiterate guy, I guess you now understand what I mean. How can a few chiefs leave La République du Cameroon, go to France, assuming they even signed a piece of paper, and somebody would think that we should call it or consider it a treaty of union between Ambazonia, the southern Cameroons, and La République du Cameroon? How is that even possible? And I see intelligent people out there believing and circulating that trash. Whenever you see anything signed by Ground Zero Speaks, from UN, from Ochiba and Nelson or whatever, please avoid passing it around. It never contains truth. It doesn't contain truth. Now, this young guy is very, very quick to vilify and attack those chiefs, ladies and gentlemen, going to Paris. But the CPDM is in its own local government as early as last week, celebrating CPDM anniversary. You did not hear him put out a message or put out an audio. No, he sees the chiefs going to Paris. Okay, I'm coming to that. He sees the chiefs going to Paris, and he says they are going there. La République has sent them. He said 20 chiefs from the southern zone, 20 chiefs from the northern zones. They have all converged in Paris to sign a treaty of union that will be presented in the future at any talks as the agreement between La République du Cameroon and the southern Cameroons. Does that even make sense to you that today Today, ladies and gentlemen, the 5th of April in the year of our Lord, 2022, that they will meet somewhere, sign any paper, and somebody will call it a Treaty of Union. Does it make sense to you? But the reason I am saying this is so that every time you find any post, any audio, any message coming from that illiterate schoolmaster, please know that no truth comes from his mouth. He is cursed with lies. He is cursed with lies. But let me go back to what is happening in Paris. I saw a list of a certain statement coming from the French embassy. It appears that that thing was signed since June. Not even this year, I guess. I don't have that paper with me now. But what is going on is these chiefs were invited to Paris by the French government to study, to learn how to transform their palaces into museums that can attract tourists into those palaces. Now, I am giving you this because this is the message that I got from the chief or the phone of Akum. Let me see. I can find that message, ladies and gentlemen, from the phone of Akum. Now, listen to this. Listen to this message from the phone of Akum. Listen.
The man will be start this museum. Now, phone of Babongo. Some very, very good and some very big museum where you prefer to start up. And then from the mountain, if you see him, he imitate the big icon. From the Bafut, as we are here too, if you imitate, you make it own. And only people where they start, but not, they don't start up for proper way. So that they try for encourage way now, the same way we feel ready for attract tourists. So that when they come for Northwest, they will know that if they go for Akum, they will see museum for them. They go for Bubble Go where the whole place, they will see them. Don't open. I've been sorry to say with the other man they would wait together Front of Chumba, we would hear say he don't pass away. If you one of you will start it. And then maybe we collect with the day for here. Maybe either from them, they don't start, or they only come for learn now, they go start. But that's the thing where they want to know we do that. So at the time, there's so much for this preparation. After a very, very long time, now my first time to come from France,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you were listening to the phone of Akum, who led that delegation, and you could hear him say, now my first time this for come for France, for come for Paris. Then be invite us, we will come study how we fit turn our palaces into museums so that visitors, they fit come for our palaces. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe that for a second. That was possibly part of the agenda and the smoke screen that they put ahead for others to believe was the mission. But I have no doubt there is another mission. Let us listen to this other chief. I believe they said this is the chief of Babongo, the chief of Babongo, ladies and gentlemen. Let's listen to what he says there.
Au message de l'expression au musée du Cœur Grandi, Jacques Chirac, sur le thème sur la route de chefferie du visible à l'invisible. Monsieur le Président du musée du Cœur Grandi, Jacques Chirac.
The voice, the volume isn't good enough, I guess. I hope.
Monsieur le Président de l'Association
Okay, again, that was the phone of Babongo, again from Ingo Ketunjia at that event in France. Now, I love this one here. Let's take a look at it, please. Let's take a look at it. Look at this one here. Learning how to turn their palaces into museums. Learning how to turn their palaces into museums. You can find them coming out the gallery, the escalator there. I believe that should be in the airport in Paris. Now we do not know which of these the fonts that are there. We don't know all of them, but we know that again this delegation was being led by the font of Akum. Then there was a font of Nkwen there. There was a font of Babongo there, and then quite a number of others that we cannot identify. I have not seen a single chief here, ladies and gentlemen, from the southern zone. I have not seen a single chief here, except for the chief in front there. The chief in front bending down. I believe that should be the font of Fortabong in the Alo LGA in the Lebialem. I believe he is the one. It looks almost like him. If there is any Southwest chief there, he is probably the other one. I say so because I know Southwest chiefs normally would dress, most of them they dress in wrappers and shirts and in caps. I do not see any one of them there. I think in all of the southern zone, all the BLM chiefs, they dress in a similar fashion with the northern zone chiefs dressing in those traditional regalia. The rest of the chiefs in the rest of the southern zone, they put on wrappers and shirts, and but I didn't see any of them there. First, again, ladies and gentlemen, they are not there to sign any treaty with anybody, because they cannot sign any treaty that binds you and me out here. First of all, they don't live in those palaces. So when they say they're going out to go and learn how to turn their palaces into museums, I don't know what they really want to do, ladies and gentlemen. They don't live in those palaces, except for the font of Akum, who actually lives in the palace. And only a few weeks, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Only a few weeks, just about 3 weeks ago. Now, you all know the state of the road from Mbunda to up station Bamenda. How dangerous, unpassable that piece of road is. you will not believe that the fun of Akum got his little stretch of the road that leads from that main road, Santa main road leading to his palace, tired, completely tired. But you cannot leave Bamenda to that place on good roads. You cannot leave Mbunda to that place on any roads. But the fun of Akum got his little stretch leading to his palace tired. Now I know what it costs to tar a little piece of road. I had a yard in New Hampshire. Wasn't a very big yard, but we make sure that the parking lot was tarred. Not, I mean, that parking lot could park only about it could park only about 6 cars, just 6 cars, and the tire was all gone. We had to replace it, and I called for the contractors to give me a quote. I couldn't believe how much they said it would cost just to repair that thing, not to put new tire, not to scrape it up, but just to repair it. Now, when you talk about tarring a road in La République du Cameroon, the chief, the fund, gets Santa cut off, all of Akum cut off, Mbunda to Santa cut off, Santa to Bamenda cut off, and only his little stretch leading to his palace is tarred. What do you get from that? What do you get from that, ladies and gentlemen? But let me say this. What we have seen in France is not an expedition. You can call it an expedition for them to go back and build museums in their palaces. No, I call it Frenchification, the Frenchification of our chiefs. These are chiefs that cannot boast of support from their own people. The reason they are in Paris is not to sign some document as they want you to believe out there. The reason they are there is so the world can see Ambazonian chiefs, Anglophones, as they say. Anglophones, look at. They are going to Paris. They are meeting the French government. Everything is okay. Peace has finally returned. That is the message those chiefs, ladies and gentlemen, and in collaboration with La République du Cameroon, want the world to believe. That is it. They cannot sign any document because they know it will not be binding, null and void from day number 1. But it is PR, propaganda, and La République du Cameroon is behind it. So please, let us ignore that. It really doesn't mean much to all of us. For funds who again have abdicated their own palaces, what influence do they have? The unfortunate thing is that some Ambazonians think that we should just give these funds, allow these funds to see they can chart another course for all of us in Ambazonia. I spoke to one of us yesterday and he said, you know, the diaspora has failed. So let's allow them to see what they can do. Let's give them the chance. And I said, these funds do not even believe in a free and independent Ambazonia. What chance are you talking about? As I forget, ladies and gentlemen, another meeting is going on in Switzerland. As I speak, Agboogbala is there. Some fighters I learned will be there or are there. Some newspaper proprietors in Ambazonia are there at that meeting going on in Switzerland, and the meeting is being attended only by people from ground zero. The diaspora, listen to me. This meeting in the Swiss is organized by the Swiss Peace, and it is being attended by Agboogbala and some newspaper proprietors. I learned some fighters from the ground, maybe some fighters from DDR or what, I don't know. But that meeting is ongoing in Switzerland as I speak. The diaspora has to stand up because what they are planning to do is to say, The diaspora has failed. Let Ground Zero now decide. And guess who Agboogbala represents on Ground Zero? All the federalists and all the one Cameroonians. We got to stand up and take over this thing and play the game to the end. All right, I will come back to the. Let me bring in my guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am joined by Comrade Sama Thomas here. I was also Comrade Paddy Nganang was also supposed to be joining me. I am also joined by Barrister Tumasang, joining from London. Comrades, it's a privilege to have all of you here. Comrade Sama, let me start with you, sir. You are from, are you from Mancon or Santa?
I am from Mancon, Secretary Chris, if you can hear me.
I can hear you 5 on 5. Okay. Now tell me what you have learned about this visit to Paris. You are right there by the corner in Belgium. What have you learned about it?
Well, Secretary Chris, what you've heard, what you've seen is also what I've seen. But let me start by saying good afternoon, and I'm happy to join you today for the program. And also, I'm privileged to be with Barrister Tumasang as one of your panelists. And I want to say good evening to our televiewers all over the world, especially in Ground Zero.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, what have you heard about this meeting taking place in Paris?
Yes. What you've explained is exactly what I have heard, and the document which I sent to you. That document, we got hold of that document in Mancon. If not 3 months, it should be two months ago. And if you can read that document well, I don't understand French, but at times when I read French, I could pick out one or two words and I come up with the meaning of that sentence. What La République is doing by inviting these funds, let me go first of all why they invited these funds and the action I thought these funds were going to take. We have a lot of artifacts that have been looted from the southern Cameroons. If these funds are in Paris to demand for those artifacts back into the southern Cameroons, fine and good for them. Then I will say hooray to them. But the purpose that they are there now is they are there to Frenchify themselves, as you've said, and to invite Paris to employ some certain guys, which I don't know where these guys were coming from, to come and help them transform our palaces into homes. That is the agenda, to employ some people and send to our palaces to come and transform our palaces, which our palaces serves as a secret site. Not everybody goes there. You can enter the palace, but there are areas in the palace that you cannot enter. If you are not an indigent of that place, you cannot enter there. So what is the project that these guys are having about our palaces? They are sending spies to come and spy whatever, calling themselves chiefs and funds, not to listen to their subjects as the people or as of Germany, that at this moment you have the right to suppress your subjects. That he fought, everybody was equal before God, but at a certain given moment you can suppress your subjects. The only thing these guys can teach our funds, the only thing they can send emissaries into our palaces to do, is to teach our funds how to suppress their subjects, not to listen to them. They found that Southern Cameroons have distanced themselves from their funds for the asking, and we can no longer take orders from them. That's the more reason why our funds or chiefs are in power. The question I ask you, where are the tortoises in the Southern Cameroons that we can find, but this guy of Akum and the one of Gwen? I hear Secretary Chris.
Yes, I can hear you. Let me bring in Barrister Martin here, who has been equally, I guess, following up those developments from France. Barrister, what do you make of that? I understand from Patrice Nganang, who was supposed to be part of this panel, that this started with Bamileke chiefs. Now you have just Amba chiefs invited to Paris for the first time in generations. Suddenly, the French think that they can come over and study how to turn their palaces into museums and then use it to attract visitors. What do you make of that, sir?
Secretary Chris, good evening, and good evening to your audience. The first thing that comes to my mind is, why take 20 chiefs to go and teach them how to convert palaces into museums? Take ticket of 20 chiefs. Why don't just bring the lecturer to come and lecture them where they are? That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Secondly, most of those palaces are already museums. If you go to Bafut, there is a massive museum in the palace sponsored by the Germans. It is already there. So many palaces have museums already. What are you coming to lecture them about museum? That thing had been done in many palaces long time ago. Bafut Palace has a fat big museum. Other palaces have. So this thing is just, I think it's a veneer. It might just be to Frenchify them or give them some luxury and the rest, make them, soften them a bit, I don't know. But to be honest, the issue about going to sign a treaty in Paris, I think that is the one I should analyze in a clinical way. The first thing is, can chiefs sign a treaty in international law? Have chiefs been signing treaties? The answer is yes. When the British came to Nigeria in, I think it's 1884, they signed a treaty of protection with the kings and chiefs of Calabar, where all the chiefs came together and signed. I even heard Mangabel in La Republic some treaties before. So there's historical precedents where many chiefs can go and sign a treaty which can be working in international law. But at that time, you could see the chiefs were the higher authority in the land. When they came here, there was no authority higher than the chiefs in the subject area. Come to Ambazonia today, you have the chiefs, a lot of them are IDPs, then you have an interim government which is above the chief. And now Southern Cameroon is presenting itself as a state. For you to bind a state, you will have to get a document pursuant to the 1969 Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties. Article 7 says you have to have a document called the Full Powers Document. It has to be signed by the president or it is signed by the foreign minister. These chiefs don't have any document which they can claim that it gives them authority to bind the state of Ambazonia in anything they sign. But let's even leave that for a minute. Let's assume they signed something in Paris without authority. If you go pursuant to Article 8 of this Vienna Convention on Treaties, it says even if you sign something without authority, but the rightful authority later ratifies that document or confirms it, then in law we say ratihabitio mandato equipareto, which means that a later ratification is equal to an express command. So if they ratify this fake document signed in Paris by the rightful authority, who I think is the interim government, is Marianne Tadem, if they were to ratify the document, it can become binding. But La République, if they were to go this route, they will say the rightful authority to ratify this document is the regional assemblies. So if these guys could bring some document from Paris, they then send to the Northwest and Southwest regional assemblies, say they are the actual authority or parliament or whatever of the people of this region, they ratify this document, they will say, yes, chiefs signed, but they didn't have power. It has been ratified now by the rightful authority. Pursuant to Article 8 of the Vienna Convention of Law of Treaties, the rightful person has signed. So, I don't know this concept of signing, I don't know whether it's true. I'm just analyzing from a position of international law to say that, yeah, they could try some tricks like that. But whether that's what they are trying, I don't know. I don't have direct information, sir.
Barrister Martin, I get your argument there. However, how could a treaty that was supposed to be signed in 1961 be signed in Paris in April 2022 and be accepted as a working document?
Mr. Chris, there is no law which prevents you from signing a treaty at any point in time. We can go into a treaty today, we can go into it yesterday. Time doesn't really mean. If they were to sign a treaty they didn't sign, we can start a new beginning by signing a treaty today. So they can decide that this treaty now, okay, there were some mistakes before, but now the parties now have agreed on a treaty to be together. I don't
how
think
do they go about how do they go about determining that there was a mistake before and let's do something? They will just send people to Paris to go and correct a mistake without consultation, like
no,
in the form of a referendum.
Chris, they are not going to correct a mistake. They are going to sign something today. Yes, two parties are there. There is nothing binding them, maybe. So they decide to come together and formalize their association by having something today. Theoretically, the international law is possible. There is nothing in law that stops them from doing that.
What do you think, Comrade Sama, about that?
Secretary Chris, I really appreciate what Barrister Martin is saying, but here is my take. How can it be a treaty of which the parties that could have come up with this treaty are absent in this signing? Because the parties to be present are supposed to be representatives of the United Nations, as spelled out by the two alternatives, and the government of the United Kingdoms, and the government of La République du Cameroon, and the government of the Southern Cameroons. Can these chiefs be converted to be the government of the Southern Cameroon to sign such a treaty? I don't think so. And again, France was not even supposed to be a party to the signing of that treaty. So I want to believe that anything influenced by the French, as such, null and void, it can be taken to anywhere for authentication. I think, in my own common reasoning, this is what it's going to be. You cannot turn it another way around. Thank you.
Yes, Barrister Martin, you want to add something there? Please, go on.
To be honest, I've heard what he says, but he keeps going back to the history. I'm saying even in contract, there's something they call freedom to contract. Yes, in the past, we never did anything. We messed up. Nothing is there. But we're going today. Me and you sit down to sign. They don't have need for Paris or Britain or anybody. It is possible. If we agree, we want to part our ways, we can even sign a treaty on how we're going, how we share the assets, treaty of peace, how we will live like neighbors. So people can always sign treaties at any point in time. Whether history is existing or not existing, they can agree the terms of their treaty. Hello?
Yes, go on, please. Go on. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so it's possible to do that. I don't see anything, but I don't believe it's a treaty they went to do. I'm just analyzing it from an international law perspective. That yes, they are the wrong parties. But if the right parties later ratify what the wrong party did, it becomes binding. Whoever the right party, for example, if Marienda is the right party and they bring some document and she's happy with it, she signs as the right party, she has ratified what the wrong party did. The maxim is rati habitio mandato equipareto. The wrong party without authority did it, but the right party with authority later ratified. It becomes binding.
Well, I really find problems with your argument there, because what you are saying tantamount to saying that La République can just handpick anyone on ground zero and say, you know what, go to Paris, go to Belgium, go to London, and let's resign this treaty, and it will be binding on every other. Is that what you are saying?
No, it's not binding, Chris. You're not hearing me.
Okay.
The wrong party, when they sign a document, it's not binding. It's whether the rightful party, as an aftermath, decide to ratify that document. You get the point? The binding effect comes from the right party ratifying later. So if they come with some paper, now they then come to the interim government, at least the chiefs agree this, you look at it and it's okay, Marianta signs. It is her signing now that makes that original non-binding document to become binding.
That
and secondly, so even if those people were to go, Chris, anybody can represent a state. provided the person has a document we call full powers. Provided he has his clear state of mind, he's not a madman. If you give him a full powers document given by the president or the foreign minister, he can sit and represent the state. When they say, in what capacity are you sitting here? You pull out your full powers document. I have the full powers to represent the state given by the president or the foreign minister. You have the, even if you are a man on the street, but so far as you enter that hall with your full power documents pursuant to Article 7 of the Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties, you are empowered to bind that state.
Now, let me get back to you, Comrade Sama there. Yes, it is all established that this journey was meant to go out, learn or study how to go create museums in their palaces. Let's assume that is the raison d'etre behind the meeting. But what do you make of the misinformation campaign that you now see out there? The whole thing is spin to the effect that, they are going to sell us. They are going to sign some treaty. In fact, they said 36 chiefs, or is it 30 or 36? 19 from the southwest, 19 from the northwest, and people are jittery and spreading the garbage and actually trying to believe that. What do you make of that misinformation campaign?
Secretary Chris, the way you reacted to that information, it seems you were in my head. Immediately I received that information, I reacted same the way you reacted. The reason I reacted the way you reacted was because of three names. Prince Jeka, Nanchop, and Pine. So I deleted immediately that those three names came out from that information. I deleted the information and now wrote back to the person who forwarded that information to me and asked him, is this the type of person you can get his messages and send out for consumption? Secretary Chris, you can quite remember about 2 years ago, I called this guy Nelson Ochiba, Bad News Nelson Ochiba, and called upon everybody to discard everything that was coming from this guy. And I said, in order to put out, this guy was going to bring down this revolution. If we were not careful with this guy, he will bring us down. He has done just that. We are now struggling, Secretary Chris, to get up. But I still want to tell Southern Cameroonians that this guy, which I nicknamed Bad News Ochiba, anybody listening anything coming from this evil genius, well, I don't think you are a true believer of the liberation of the Southern Cameroons if you follow this guy with anything. For everything he does is he is working for La Republic. Ochiba Nelson is working for La Republic. But in his feeble mind, like John Dinger, these two guys, they know that they are the only ones that are fighting legitimately for the liberation of Southern Cameroons. Every other person is a bought over. Can these two guys, Secretary Chris, liberate us? They cannot. So my advice to every Southern Cameroonian with this guy is that everything he churned out, like you said, should be discarded. People should not listen to him. For what he can turn any message, even a good one, to become a message. Don't listen to him. That's my take. Hello, Secretary.
Hello?
Barrister Tumasan, we are looking at these chiefs. These are chiefs who do no longer live in their palaces, but they are running out to Paris to go and learn how to build museums in those palaces. If this is not PRO, if this is not PRO, tell me what it is, because I don't know where they are returning to build museums in the time of war.
These guys are IDPs. They don't even have anything. Some of them have not visited their lands for so long. And as I've said, some of these palaces, as I quoted Bafut, have massive museum. We had a museum that was sponsored by the Germans long ago, and they sponsored in other areas. Are you coming to teach Bafut people how to do a museum in the palace, or you hire the Bafut people to teach you? These people in France, have they done any museum in Bamenda in Northwest before? So I think they are just looking for some excuse to bring these guys to come and enjoy the French life. It's got nothing to do with, or try to make them more comfortable with France. It's nothing to, I don't think they are going there to sign any treaty. I don't think the museum thing is even a serious thing.
Now they teach them how to build museums. I don't know. Do you think they are giving them money to invest in those museums?
I don't know. They might sponsor them. They might give them money in the guise of doing museum, but they know a lot of them will eat it. So, but as I said, many of those palaces have the museums already. So what are you coming? If you were to give the Bafut Fund money to do museum now, is he gonna make a new palace to do this museum there? He has a massive museum there already. I've been to the museum myself. So I don't know what they are doing. They are just, to be honest, just softening them, let the chiefs be on their side. That's what they are trying to do. I don't think there's anything there.
Yeah, absolutely. It just doesn't make sense. Most of, if not all of these palaces are museums by their own right, because they were built hundreds of years ago. I mean, those institutions existed before the colonialists came in, and they built those palaces. Those who fought against the Germans, and the Germans destroyed their palaces, they had to rebuild. A very good example is the palace of the Font of Fontaine that was built by the Germans, which remains a huge monument up to today. The Font of Bafut, the Font of Mancon Palace is a museum essentially. The Font of Akum, I believe, even his palace is a museum by itself. So it really marvels me that they think that they can go learn something in France before turn those palaces into museums, before get the illumination to turn those palaces into attractive centers. Comrade Sama, let me have you address this, please.
Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you, Secretary. What I want to say is that about 20 or 25 years ago, the Mancon people contributed more than 100 and something million francs to build a museum, and that museum has been there for this long. So what can France teach the Mancon people again? Secondly, there was a squabble between Amamuna and the people of Bamenda, for he looted the cultural center in Bamenda and carried all the day. And this guy identified from to be returned, and then I think they could have gotten a reason for we have a museum constructed. So what type of museum is a Frenchman going to teach us to open in the southern Cameroons if they are not, if there is no secret agenda to this thing? Then let them tell me the type of museum they want to teach us to open for every palace in Bamenda. I don't know of Gwen or Chomba, but for Mancon, if you go there, there's a huge monument in front of the Mancon Palace, not inside the mountain, which is that museum is over 150 million francs. That's a construction cost alone. So what they are saying in Paris cannot be true. That cannot be true, Secretary Chris.
All right, let us get to another subject here. You all listen to what is, to me, narrate what is going on in Oku, where Fai Yengo and Philemon Yang, there is the news in town that Philemon Yang may be appointed Vice President of La République du Cameroon, and they are trying to make sure that they get rid of Ambazonia restoration fighters from Oku by all means, just so if it is going to happen, it shouldn't affect the decision makers appointing Philemon Yang the vice president. Now, I consider this very important and credible because, you know, the news we are hearing out there is that Dion Ngute is leaving because he has not been able to bring tranquility to Indian, where the Expendables and Tenkobo, they are giving them a match for their money in the place. But as a Tumasan, what do you think of what is going on in Oku?
Secretary Chris, from my experience in Cameroon, when they are about to make an appointment and they start banging somebody's name too much, it might be, most of the time, the final result is not that person. The fact that Yang's name is all over the place, Yang will not be the vice president. Secondly, I really doubt whether Biya at the point he's dying would put a non-Beti person, not to talk of an Anglophone, to be the next president. The chances of that is very slim. If they were to put Yang as vice president to become president, it might be that France has advised them that to stop the war and make Anglophones feel part of Cameroon, they need an Anglophone to be president. Just like in Tanzania, you have people coming from the other side of the Zanzibar and they are rotating or something. That might be the reason, but I doubt it. This thing is a cartel. It's like the mafia. If it is non-Gongo, it might be one of their own people. I don't think CBA like somebody who would take the crown and give an Anglophone. I don't really believe so. What they call an Anglophone in their system anyway. I think it's just a lie. But Yang now is reacting, he's heard the law, and he believes there is a chance something might come there. Then he is spending money to try and show that Ambas are not active in his own locality. I think that is an issue, but I don't think Yang would even succeed.
Comrade Sama, please.
No, I don't want to deal with the issue of Solomon Yang, Secretary Chris. What I want to deal with is the issue of our fighters in Oku. I've wanted to make an audio to our fighters in Oku on this particular situation. But the situation in Oku, if we do not handle it with an iron fist, it might degenerate into something funny, which all of us will not appreciate it. This is my take to our boys in Oku. They have taken enough of it from the civilians of Oku. And it is now clear, very, very clear, that the civilians have been infiltrated. If next, this of Oku come out again to go and face our boys, they should give a periphery of 300 meters. If they come closer than 300 meters, it therefore means that is a potential target. It is either your head or you take that of your enemy. Our boys must take this very serious. If these women, again, I don't care where they are coming from, let it be my sister or my brother. If they are coming for you in Oku, they must not come closer than 300 meters. If they are closer than 300 meters, don't pity anybody in that crowd. Send them running for their lives or into their graves.
Thank you. Thank you. We will open the phone lines and take a few calls before we call it a day. Ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are open. Many of you have the number out there. Go ahead and call, but before you call, make sure that your television set, the volume of your set is turned down. Make sure that the volume of your set is turned down before you call. Again, we are discussing the visit of these chiefs to Paris, the ongoings in Oku, where money is being passed around to bribe the people to rise up against Ambazonia restoration forces. and I lost my thought. So please, the phone lines are open. Make your call and let's know what you are thinking today. All right. So while I wait for your calls, ladies and gentlemen, I guess the first caller is in from Ground Zero. Let us see. Hello. Hello.
Chris, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes,
where are you calling from, please?
Yeah, I'm calling from Ground Zero.
Which county?
Yeah, Mezam County.
Okay, you have 1 minute to share with us what is in your mind, please.
Yeah, I want to talk about the visit of the funds in Paris. Yeah, I want to think that they are not there for museum training as they said it. But I want us to be very careful with that visit, because if they sign anything there in the name of Amazonian, for us to actually destroy that paper, it might take us some time. So if I want to advise that if we have the different chiefs number, we should better call them individually and warn them from taking any decision in Paris, so that we should not regret it after. You know, the international body is corrupt, and they can wrap up things and begin to hold us captive because of something that has been signed, even illegally. Secondly, for what is going on in Oko, I want to think that what you said there is very true. Let the fighters take their ground. We are on the ground. We know the pains that we are going through, but we will not tolerate civilians going after the fighters because of maybe 10,000 francs that has been sent from Yaoundé. What is 3 million? You give 3 million to a headquarter, and the headquarter will give 10,000. Can 10,000 save you for 1 day, if at all you have a family? And even if it can save you for 1 day, save you for 10 days.
Right.
That is something that the people of Oko should think about. Because if you are fighting for something that will last forever, and somebody comes from somewhere and give you 10,000, that you should fight against that your future, then you are a coward to have taken that money and begin to act on the street like a mad dog. Anyway, things like that must happen in situations like this. You know, people must collect money and want to defend that money by all costs. But let people know that their lives and the life of the entire 8 million Cameroonians is at stake, and they should be careful, because we are on the ground and we know what we are fighting for. We know where we are heading to. No civilian on the ground is for anything less than independent. No civilian. So if the Oko people want to join the LARPO, I think that they can just carry that land there and move to Douala or to Yaoundé and allow the land for us, so that we can be free. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. Let's see who else is calling here. All right. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. You're calling from Germany, I guess, right?
Yeah, from Germany.
This is not Power James, right?
No, this is Abakwa.
Abakwa. Okay. All right. What is in your mind, sir?
What is in my mind? I'm trying to say this, as I earlier said, concerning the AFCON. I told Amazonians that we contributed, we drafted for AFCON, and AFCON, they played AFCON in Limbe and in Boya. This is the same thing. These particular chiefs are going to France to go and sign treaties there. We are sitting in front of our eyes. Everyone is looking at it. And then we are here saying that they have gone there for museum. What type of museums are they doing in France?
No, I think you miss. I think. Listen. Hold on there. This is the point we are making. We are making the point that whether they are going to sign a treaty or bring a museum home to their palaces, it just doesn't matter to us, because if they sign a treaty, it is dead on arrival. They do not represent Ambazonians. So essentially we are saying it is useless. They should not waste their time.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
I've heard you people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. All right, let us see who is calling. Ground Zero. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me. Good evening.
Thank you. What's going on?
Yes, I'm calling from Bamenda.
All right.
Yeah, my take on the situation in Oku first.
Okay.
What is happening in Oku is a reflection of one of the greatest drawbacks of this revolution: blacklegism and betrayal. That is essentially what is happening. And I don't see why. Thank you very much for taking the decision that fighters should eliminate anybody coming after them.
Yeah.
Because I don't see any need why. Yes, I don't see any why people should continue to tolerate people that have brought us pain, suffering for more than 5 decades. People who are not ready to sit down and dialogue and end this war. People who are cunningly determined to destroy us. And our own very people, primitive villagers, are conniving with them to eliminate our own soldiers. So this is one of the main problems of this revolution. Long ago we defeated these francophones, but because of these black legs, these traitors in our midst, they continue to hold on, believing that one day they will win. So in other revolutions, in other wars of independence, entire villages of traitors were wiped out, were eliminated, so that the revolution would go ahead. I don't see why it is different here. Yes, if those villagers, those primitive villagers continue to support those people, they should be exterminated.
Yeah.
Then in passing, I was very surprised, Secretary Chris, looking at the report card of a student of Progressive Comprehensive College in Bamenda. I did not believe when I saw that the coefficient attributed to the French language, that is the cause of what we are going through. You look at coefficient 3 for French and coefficient 2 for English in Progressive. Can you believe it?
What does that mean? I don't understand though.
I'm saying that coefficients attributed to subjects.
Okay.
You know what? Yes. Coefficient 3. French was attributed coefficient 3.
Yeah.
Which means, for example, if a student has 15/20 in French, in the end, he will have 45 marks.
Right.
15 times 3. If the student has the same in English, he will have just 30 marks, 15 times 2. So French is accorded a higher coefficient than the English language. I've never seen this revolution started. I've never seen such provocation, except the one brought by Samuel Ekome. So this is what is happening in Progressive and other colleges. Yeah, they are endorsing the agenda of these francophones to humiliate us, to impose on us, to ridicule what we are doing, to come out of their bondage.
Well, you know, I have said it here time and again that if our people think that this war is a joke, they make a very big mistake. They will realize at the end of the day, if God forbid we lose the war, that they think we have been colonized. We have not been colonized yet. What the form of colonialism that will take place after this war is over, if we do not win, will not be anything compared to what we already know. So if the war is still going on and they are classifying French above English in our own soil, imagine what is going to happen when they finally take over if we lost the war. English will not be taught. English, ladies and gentlemen, will not be a subject in any of our schools, because you know what? They will want the world to know we're conquered and we are all Francophones. Cameroon is a French country. That is what they will want the world to know. You know what Rwanda did after the Civil War, right? Doing away with French. That is what will happen in Amazonia if we fail to win this war. Thank you for the call.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get to the next caller here. Hello.
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 I can hear you, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ground Zero.
Which county, sir, or which city?
I'm calling from Ground Zero, Bamenda 1.
Okay, and what is your contribution, sir?
My contribution is I very much appreciate what you are doing. What has happened in Oko is what that is going to happen around Bamenda 1 that they are planning to do. And I want to tell you that you should encourage the strikers to take charge because Bamenda 1 is becoming dangerous. They are going around bribing the headquarters to remove every fighters around here. But most of our fighters are around, they are left the village because there are more black legs are living here. Most of them have come back. But we have already...
Which are the areas that make up Bamenda 1, sir? Is that Bamenda Kwe?
Yeah, that's
what is happening though. We more appreciate it because we started sending Bamenda in Bamenda 1. But right now, all of them are coming back. Off station.
Okay. Okay.
So what is happening now, all of them are come back. They have bribed all the headquarters.
And when you say headquarters, which headquarters are you referring to?
We have to do everything to stop them, then to phone our guys around.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for the call.
What is happening in Paris?
All right, we got a few minutes to go. Hello. Good evening, sir. It seems you are quite far away from your phone. Can you get closer to your phone, please?
Okay, now I'm quite close to my mouthpiece. Can you get me now?
I can hear you. Go on, sir.
Yes, I just want to say 3 things. Excuse me. 3 things. Get rid of all black legs traitors from Amazonia. Then the war will be won. Number 2, get rid of all black legs and traitors. If that is not done, forget about winning this war. The number is growing. The number of them is growing. Yeah. If you don't get rid of them, the last call I just talked about, quarter has been back in Bamenda 1. Such a thing should not be encouraged. Such a thing should be treated as one. Secondly, number 2, let all Amazonians who have financial capability support President Iya Mariata. Amazonia has not got an enemy. Amazonia has got a problem of sponsoring their dedicated, devoted fighters on the ground. Give them the money and they'll win this war in no time. Thirdly, that thing called Fundum chiefs, like those rascals that went to Paris, they are in no event, no consequence. I don't even want us to talk about them because Amazonians have vomited them. No chiefs, no funds in Amazonia. I don't know IDPs in Francophone towns. They are. So let's forget about them. Yes. And in fact, if I were the president, I would suspend the institution of Fundum and chiefdom till further notice to this Tiguri's Boya. Yes, because those criminals, those beggars, those greeds attain a body of restriction to eat when it is not supposed to eat. Thank you very much, Secretary Chris. Thank you. Congratulations for good work.
Thank you, sir. You have a great night. Thank you. All right. I will take the last caller for the night and we'll call it a day. And it is Ground Zero. Okay. Hello. Please, can you turn down the volume of your TV set, please, and focus on the phone?
Yes, I'm already in the phone.
Okay, where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Ground Zero.
Where on Ground Zero? Which county or LGA?
From Bui Country.
Bui Country. Okay, what is in your mind?
Okay, Secretary Chris, I will speak in Pidgin.
That is okay.
Okay, Secretary Chris, I agree with you.
Thank you.
And wait till we are the try for talk. I say, glad we're there for we are hard because of you. Now, only God we want know. Because they fight, the way they fight, you don't pass. You have it to say you don't already cross line because you don't win. And we know say how you don't win, we too, we don't win. Wait till we are the try for talk. I want to talk for our restoration forces. May they just try way because they so now play way all man we don't put the heart for day. How we don't get some little problem them for day about 5,000. I want to talk for 5,000 may they hear well. If the one may we go back how we be there, may come be how we be there for their food. May they try way for B1. We get some problem about some fighters. They know the fight, but they work at the warring civilian them. For example, how they be say they don't join for be a get warrior. For example, first time we be get restoration forces them for road where they be take 250 them for bike rider them. But now they want them where they don't come say they don't join. They don't detect now 500. So I see say that one day so it will bring problem for civilian them. And second, them don't live for the fight. They go now the warring civilian them. When they go stand for some place, for example, they come go for some place like Potatum so they go stand now for he shoot gun. When Janlam them they come up, they go come run. When they come run go, they go begin make some video them. Kapot the network or the show am say them don't go fight for Tatum, they don't go for cancer. When I lie, them they lie so. That one way them they do am so them they spoil na fight. Because civilian them they vex for that thing where them they do. Person they come out from for example like from Tatum, so say one go for Kumbu, they go take 500. Before you go reach for Kumbu, one come up where sometime wait till one go for go do all money don't finish now for their hand. They don't beg them, say me they turn their gun now for La Republic. May they know the warring civilian them. And
right.
something they where they pass now from them. Where we would be glad if all people them for Amazonia if they fight now so as you say we go win now. Say if the La Republic them come kill one person for Amazonia, I mean they kill to one person for La Republic because La Republic no we don't ever make mistake shoot person for La Republic. They wear them the pack for we side. They mean no we don't ever make a mistake born one La Republic compound where all them they don't come the pack for their side. They be has them. They know they don't ever born now. They born now we has. May that restoration force they decide now say if they born one compound for Amazonia, I mean they don't do the one for La Republic.
All right. Thank you. We don't get your message and thank you for Ngo Ketunjia forces doing a great job taking care of those black legs and traitors, bringing this lot of people to Cameroon terrorists to go and terrorize them. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether my guest is here or they are all gone. Comrade Sana, you are still there. What do you make? What do you make? Let me give you 1 minute to give us your thought on what is happening in Ngol-Ketunjia, where the restoration fighters have said any black leg, any traitor that takes La Republic Army to their residence and somebody is killed, abducted, or money taken, or property burnt, they will just go look for their own and burnt. I think it's the same thing that we're asking the fighters in Ndu to do. Civilians go after any fighter for no reason, just so they can clean the town of Ambazonia fighters. Ambazonia's fighters should be ready to shoot to kill. The same thing in Ndop, and the same thing should happen anywhere in Ambazonia where La Republic thinks they can use these tactics to kill or drive our fighters. What do you think? What is your thought on that?
Secretary Chris, it's not just a matter about Ndop. Ndop has set a good example for all our ARFs in the Southern Cameroons to follow. I think we are mainly repeating this. Before we said if La Republic happens to kill one Southern Cameroonian anywhere, every LGA should kill one La Republican citizen living in their area of residence. That decision had taken a long time ago. What Ndop has done today is that Ndop has gone a little bit further to say that if a civilian is killed in Ndop, they will get to the compound of a black leg who is a soldier. If you are a soldier in Ndop and you are selling you are fighting against us in Ndop, we are going to deal with it. If your group happens to kill any of our civilians or burn the house of any of our civilians, we will burn your own compound as well, or the house of your father. Now, as you've said, is a tit for tat. Then, to go for the secretaries, let me talk about this education thing in the Southern Cameroons. I want to warn those that are going to school. If you will write City and whether it's City and Geese or it's London Chamber of Commerce as it was before, fine and good. We will recognize that certificate in future. But if, as from 2017, which we call for the boycott of schools, public schools in the Southern Cameroons, and you keep on going to school, when the Southern Cameroons will be liberated, and you come forward with that certificate over to you by the enemy, we will regard you, we will do you on that day as a black leg. For you are the one that has caused many of our people to be killed. So don't think that you will brandish that certificate to the Southern Cameroons, in the Southern Cameroons in future, and will let you go free. You will never go free. Come with London Chamber of Commerce or whatever, or they call it LCC certificate, as we were writing before, we will take it. But if it is anything issued from La Republic, you'll be dealt with. And then, you give me one, let me just finish with this. I want to appreciate Barrister Thomason, for he is playing the devil's advocate, which I know many Southern Cameroonians don't want to listen to it. But what Barrister Thomason is doing is something that we should listen to it and take it seriously. For he is learning, he is teaching us and making us to be on the guard so as to know how to tackle La Republic if they come up with such fishy things with our chiefs or with whosoever. So I want to thank Barrister Thomason again for educating us the way he has just done this evening. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Comrade. Was a pleasure having you today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to call it a night, but before I go, I just want to remind all of you out there, the APP, Amber Peace Plan, great meeting is coming up tomorrow, and every one of you is invited. Again, APP, Amba Peace Plan meeting, we'll call it the Constituent Assembly of all Ambazonians, is coming up tomorrow. I believe it is 7 p.m. Amba time. If it is not 7 p.m., I know for sure that the doors are open at 7 p.m. Amba time. Every one of you, you are invited, even if you are on ground zero. Wherever you are invited to come in and share your own ideas how to take this struggle and this government to the next level. You are in Mexico, in the Far East, in the Near East, in Europe, wherever you are, for as long as you have internet, please look for the link. I know that many fora out there, they have the link to that Zoom meeting tomorrow. So look for the link, join the meeting, participate, and let's see how we can push this struggle forward. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the president is coming, and she will come out in a very strong way, because I know a lot of fidgetry out there wondering what is going on. Things are being put together, and Ground Zero and La République du Cameroon, we hear from her. Until then, I look forward to coming back one of these days, ladies and gentlemen. You remain safe and protected, totally protected, especially if you are on Ground Zero. Remain protected out there, and I look forward to seeing you again one of these days. Today is Tuesday. I believe that Friday I should be out here. Thank you for tuning in, and please do not forget, ABS needs your support. You can support ABS by logging onto the website absafricatv.com, absafricatv.com. You log into that website, hit on the donation button, and you will be able to support ABS to continue to bring you these updates. God bless you all, and good night.
Usé como si yo no sé. Oh, erokobia mana barue oh, erokobia mana barue oh, erokosomo mana barue Nabatina babatu, nabawa yoni.